Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Boxingvoice.com. You seen what he did on Facebook, right? Listen, I'm gonna make a motherfucking emoji like this, look.
WBSS production.
Boxingvoice.com. All the guys want. I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. We done bust your ass like Mayweather.
It was ball. No fight.
My life has always been a fight. I sacrificed a lot to get to where I got to. You don't think you're being overly critical to a guy that took a body shot and didn't go down?
There's no question. That's just my style. My style is to dominate. I want to get the guy. I want to stop the guy. You know, my motto is man down.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of the Boxing Voice. It's Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern time, and we're here. It's Crow Day, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of fights to talk about. Thank God for Chris Eubank giving us a good weekend with a great knockout, or should I say controversial. We'll obviously get into that in detail. We'll have some big news. Thank God for Miguel Cotto as well. Typically, we don't get excited, but interesting news in that welterweight 154-pound division, including Miguel Cotto, and the super heavyweight division, or heavyweight division, should I say, as the sanctioning bodies want to create a extra division now. And Billy Joe Saunders and David Lemieux are back at it. About 5 weeks ago, they were doing this, and here we are again. They're back into their Twitter beef, and we have a bunch of headlines to discuss with you guys earlier. So remember, if you're just joining us right now, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Turn it from gray to blue. Tell a friend that we're live here on TBV. You know the number 14255695241. Press 1 one time to voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. We're going to head on out to the Golden State to both of our co-hosts.
WBSS production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor. Boxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just hope the guy. I wish.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. Not a ton of fights, but we did have really a potential next star of boxing in Chris Eubank. I think Chris Eubank didn't necessarily have a star-making performance last night, but it was close. A lot of people were questioning his power in the division, questioning his size in the division. And for a guy that was coming down from light heavyweight at one point, and he goes in there and ices him in a sense, because regardless of what some reporters at ESPN may think about that knockout, he was out and he got woken up when his head hit the canvas. So that was just a spectacular knockout, one of the best knockouts of the year, in my opinion. It instantly made him, I would say, the favorite to win the tournament now. I would say a lot of people are now switching from either George Groves or Callum Smith to it's Eubank. And Eubank's now really the star of the tournament, so I can't wait to delve into that. And, of course, Miguel Cotto, Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, a ton of news to get into with that. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Corolla Burns. We have tons of news, tons of boxing to get to, so can't wait to chop it up.
All right, well, let's stay right in the Golden State. We're going to go out to the super producer, Steven Calderon.
There'll be nothing but smooth sailing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, I did see the fights this weekend, and yes, I agree with you, Matt, that I think that Eubank Jr. has definitely caught the attention of anyone who cares about this tournament, and I also caught the Corolla and Ricky Burns fight, and I'm excited to see what everyone has to say about that, especially people from the UK are going to be calling in.
Well, let's talk about Eubank, a fight I did see. It was a quick one.
So wait, that implies that you did not see Corla Burns?
Maybe, maybe not. I think you're gonna have to wait till we get to that part of the show, Matt.
Seeming like a no, though.
Definitely heavy no, right? Heavy
If
no.
I had to read you right now, the reading is a no.
Maybe, maybe not. I could have watched it.
Okay.
Was it one of those? Was it one of those where like where you watch it on YouTube and you keep your finger on the mouse because you're dragging through like every other round so fast? Did you watch it like that? Did you skim through it?
No, but I'm gonna try and do those from now on. I've never done that. Yeah, that would be difficult, but I'll try. See if that's maybe. Does YouTube have like? Could you 1.5 speed, Matt? Like
yes, you can.
Wow.
Because you can obviously make the speed slower on YouTube, so you can make the speed faster.
Yeah, I mean, if you make it faster, you might miss those punches that Burns was landing.
Do you really care? But anyways, we're gonna go back to Chris Eubank because he's really the
he looked good. He looked good, but he looked like he always looks. Lets his hands go. Crazy Wild. I'm surprised people haven't called him Deontay Wilder's cousin or something. They should be related.
Definitely
he almost fell trying to throw a left hook in that fight.
Definitely reminded me of Deontay Wilder when he started going for the kill. Definitely reminded me of that.
But man,
I think he's a bit more. He's too precise. I think to be like Deontay Wilder. His technique is a lot more cleaner and crisper than Deontay.
I'm saying it looks like.
I could see what you mean by that. I guess, but to me, he definitely is a little bit more polished.
Well, of course he is. He is absolutely. But when he goes for the kill, he does get a little bit wild and sloppy compared to when he's just jabbing, looking for that counter uppercut.
He definitely gets in the moment. He lets himself get kind of caught into whatever he feels his blood pumping and rushing going on. Like even after the knockout or the knockdown, he stood there in a very dramatic pose.
Yeah,
he definitely is. He's a dramatic person.
Yes. He's a character. The way he just looked at the crowd, like, yeah, this is what I did. You see what I did? He did that in the Nick Blackwell fight too, though. Let's not be mistaken. Like, yo, this guy has all the makings of a star. I mean, and having pedigree and name, that's always gonna help. But he has the characteristics himself. He can do it, and I'm interested. I'm glad I never seen Yildirim. Poor Avni. His manager / coach would probably go down as a more polarizing figure in this whole build-up and fight, unfortunately for him.
Legend.
Maybe he could come back from this. I don't know. But Eubank did exactly what he was supposed to do. When you fight someone we never heard of, take out the trash. That's all. I don't know if you guys have any other on this.
I mean, is he the favorite? Is he the favorite to win now?
Not because he beat up some guy I never heard of.
Yeah, it's hard to call him.
Because the way he looked, because of the way he has been looking as of late, he has improved since the Billy Joe Saunders loss. I see people in the chat even saying that he would knock out Golovkin. Like, I see that now.
Yeah, well, they're crazy.
I'm not, but
Avni,
there are people that
he is. Yeah, but I mean, there's crazy people all over the world, Matt. We can't pay attention to all the crazies.
But their opinions, at least there are opinions there, and I don't know what a percentage of people that think that Eubank, not necessarily off the Yildirim fight, but off of this transition in the last couple of years, is now this force in the division. There are people that think that.
Who was Avni though? Really?
A guy that beat Aaron Pryor Jr. and Parabon, and that's about it.
Oh, he beat Parabon?
Yes.
Antonio Parabon? Is it Antonio?
Yeah, isn't it like Marco Antonio Parabon or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat him.
That's a decent not win, but name to have on your resume at the very least.
Yeah, it is Marco Antonio Parabon, and he beat him in May 13th. But that was that was at
coming off of how many losses Parabon was? Because I know that Heyman used him a lot.
All right, so Marco Antonio Parabon going into that fight had actually a 5-fight win streak, and previous to that,
how many in Mexico?
All of them.
Duh. Come on.
How many winning records? Winning records. That's probably
1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And the latest one, Parabon, before he went into the fight with Avni, he had just beat a guy who was 10-0 in Mexico. He did lose to Jay Leon Love back in 2014, and then right after he lost to James DeGale, also in 2014.
Well, all right. Well, look, man, we can't milk more out of that topic. I mean, it's time to move on to what everyone is here for, or at least what I really care about.
We know.
The Cotto negotiations, failed negotiations. I mean, Vargas, Danny Garcia, and Mikey Garcia. We got Top Rank. We have Al Heyman. And we have a completely independent entity in Team Garcia. No manager, no promoter. Just a working relationship with Al and Showtime. So we had a couple of able and willing customers to get in the ring with Cotto. And before we get into all those details, I want to talk to you guys more about what do you think it meant for each person individually? Because I know this topic is going to go down the, alleys of pay-per-views, popularity, money. So before we get into all the bullshit, right, that would have made the fight happen, because I think it would have been a great fight for any one of these three people other than the one that they went with. And no disrespect to Sadam Ali at all and Andre Rozier. You guys know I have tremendous respect for you, and I hope we continue a good relationship. But,
hope that paycheck's good.
Doing whatever Sadam Ali did doesn't deserve this. And I understand. In boxing, we get these type of things. It happens like that. But I think they could have tried harder, because I feel like with Jesse Vargas, Mikey Garcia, and Danny all failing to make these negotiations possible, it's very easy to point the finger. But we'll get to what exactly Nestor will be pointing to, hypothetically, right? And strictly my own wild theories. But I think that Puerto Rico versus Puerto Rico and Danny versus Cotto would have been good.
Huge New York fight.
Huge New York, Madison Square Garden, Barclays Center fight. They could have even done this outdoors and got real freaky in the Yankee Stadium, do something they never done before.
They could have.
And it could have been.
And I think Cotto fought in Yankee Stadium. Sorry, just to clarify. I'm pretty sure that Cotto fought Yuri Foreman.
That's why I'm always happy.
Wasn't that the old Yankee Stadium? That wasn't the new one, was it? Or
I don't know.
Actually, I believe that was the first fight in the new Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Cotto had the working relationship. Why not do it? And if Danny can win, Cotto passed the torch to the next Puerto Rican champion. And if Danny can't win, Cotto goes out like fucking awesome sauce, right? Being a young guy, a young up-and-coming guy. That's awesome. And maybe even a secondary shot at, I don't know, another 2 or 3 fight deal with HBO based off that, if he could beat a Garcia. Now, I guess we should do fighter by fighter instead of keeping you guys waiting so long. So let's just stick with Garcia Cotto so far.
Garcia.
Yes, Danny Garcia Cotto so far. Not any of the negotiations yet, because we're going to go down all those. There's a lot of doors to open as to why these things can happen, which is strange. Again, we got 3 willing bodies that couldn't come to an agreement with Team Cotto and Golden Boy. Very strange to me. But again, what did you think of that matchup when it first, Danny Garcia, Miguel Cotto, those possibilities?
I loved it. I loved it for all the reasons that you stated. Puerto Rico versus Puerto Rico, the generational difference, how that is always just a timeless trope in boxing and mostly all sports. The old veterans fighting or playing against the young guys, the next
kind of like a passing of the torch.
Exactly. And it was a passing of the torch sort of fight, in my opinion. It was going to be a huge New York fight. It was going to be a fight that I would consider going out to New York to go see, to be honest. Miguel Cotto is a legend, and Danny Garcia, regardless of what people think, he's arguably going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's on that way as well. Maybe not at the legend status that Cotto is, obviously, but he's still at a Hall of Fame status potentially. So we're looking at 2 guys that are really big names in Puerto Rican boxing in the last 10, 15 years and the next 10, 15 years. And if they don't fight, that's kind of sad. I also think it's the biggest fight out of the three. That's just my personal opinion.
You know what, Matt? I was gonna check you on that because you've been throwing around like Hall of Fame status to like anyone who had a title with a good win ever.
Yo, I'm
like, possible Hall of Fame. You're throwing that around a lot, but Danny, you might have a legit claim because Danny is one of those guys who came up with like the Amir Khans, Lamont Petersons. They fought kind of like everybody. You know, they fought all the guys they fought all the title holders that were ruling their division before. And then once they got the title, they fought whoever the hell was left over. And now going forward, he's getting big fights. So there could be a case for that. I wouldn't. Definitely not one of those like, oh, first ballot. Definitely like a, hey, 20 years from now,
he's on the way having a Hall of Fame career.
Could be possibly, maybe you might be able to argue that. I'll leave it at that. However, I would have not preferred to watch Danny versus Cotto because I don't think the styles would have mixed very well. People tend to think that Cotto's always like in good wars in these big fights, and people thought the same thing when he fought Canelo. It was going to be a big fight and a hard fight. But I remember talking to Jose from Canada after he had went to the fight and other people. That fight was kind of boring. And I think Danny's style, where it is kind of like a counter puncher, he's not very aggressive. I think that him and Cotto would have made for a dull fight.
Now, before we move on to the next couple of guys, I want to say, and again, there's plenty of doors to open on the negotiation side, so we'll do it fight by fight. Top reason, Matt, you think that this fight didn't happen?
I can only give one, right?
I mean, just to keep it quick so we can keep going.
Al Heyman, Golden Boy relationship.
Wow. Steven, top reason you think Cotto, Danny Garcia didn't get made?
Danny wanted too much money.
I agree.
That was my second one.
I agree that money could have been a possibility. And I don't know if Danny asked for too much. What I'll say is I'll remind everyone that when there were rumors of Danny versus Pacquiao, he was saying that $4 million wasn't enough. So that's just to give you a barometer. Now you point the finger whether it was Danny or Cotto or Golden Boy or Heyman. You know, I'm not really here for that. But I will say this. If I were Danny Garcia, I would have took the fight. I would have gotten it made. We don't know who's at fault, and I understand that to Team Garcia if they're listening, as most always do. And
this could all be Cotto. That's very true. It could all be Cotto.
But I would have made it, me being Danny, this fight means more. A, for legacy, and it instantly vindicates you. If you're able to go up to 54 and beat Cotto, you're going to get credit. Cotto may get accused of cherry picking 147-pounder. And some of the meaner boxing fans might even say that he's really cherry picking because Danny's probably the weakest link at welterweight, according to those mean boxing fans, right? But again, if Danny would have taken this chance, by all means necessary, there was so much to gain. And a loss means nothing. The way that the loss to Gennady versus Kelbrook meant nothing, and the loss from Canelo to Khan meant nothing, and so many others that try to move up and be great and fail. Gabriel Rosado is about to be on TV. He moved up to face Golovkin and failed. This is a fumble, and they need to pick up the pieces now. We should be talking about Ali, and we'll get to him at the very end, obviously, but can you guys confirm or deny that Ali is official, and maybe this show can be the missing link into all these parties getting it right after they listen to the episode, because it's ridiculous.
I've not seen it official.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I seen something. I'm glad to hear that it was fake.
It's saying reports are indicating, or sources are saying, that deal is almost close to being done and stuff like that. And that was yesterday, I believe.
Danny, I know that they'd like to listen. A couple of the members, hopefully get him a copy of this episode, and he rethinks things after our thoughts and all the callers that'll call in and give their opinions, because again, there's just more to win and not much to lose. You don't need to make all the money off this one. Not even Canelo made a bunch of money when he fought Cotto. It doesn't work that way. Cotto's the A side. act that way. So second guy was Jesse Vargas. Hasn't done nothing in a long time since the Pacquiao fight. So I can understand Cotto's team looking at that and saying, well, this is possibly a pay-per-view. You know, if they're really digging in their bags the way that I'm about to dig into mines. I mean, I don't see enough thumbs up. I mean, it's Sunday. I could be doing other shit. Hit the fucking thumbs up button if you're enjoying the show is all I'm saying.
Do it.
But yeah, I mean, I could see them thinking, yeah, economically, Jesse Vargas, he's already been on that level. Maybe we got a couple casuals seeing him fight Pacquiao. He went a couple of rounds with Pacquiao. Did Pacquiao stop him, Steven? I don't think so, right? He went 12, right? He's got that title. I mean, imagine I went 12 with Pacquiao. I'll be walking around here like my fucking chest poked out for real. You know, Ortiz calling himself King Kong. I wonder what I'd have to call myself. I went 12 with Pacquiao. So I know Vargas is feeling high. But it's not the one that I would have liked. But when we talk styles, Matt, you brought up Danny, or I think it was Calderon brought up Danny not being the right style. Jesse is the right style. He is the come forward, make the fight, and it would have been a fan-pleasing fight for the fans. Cotto's the natural counterpuncher. He likes to fight off the back foot, big left hook to the body, into the head, especially going backwards. That would have happened. Why do you think Jesse didn't make this happen?
I'm thinking, oh, go ahead, Matt.
Does Jesse even want to fight right now?
I don't know, but I'll remind you that Jesse also denied $2 million to go to the UK and fight Kell Brook at one point, remember? Even though there were multiple quotes saying Jesse said, no, I'll take it. They haven't sent the contract, something like that. But I did hear multiple interviews with Eddie Hearn saying that he sent a lucrative offer to Jesse. But then again, Jesse probably willingly avoided the fight because he got the Pacquiao right next. So maybe he knew what was coming down the grapevine and turned down the Brook fight. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he thinks $2 million isn't a lot of money, but it does absolutely necessarily mean that he got more than $2 million to fight Pacquiao, which means he could have not been happy with this money. And again, thinking he's a pay-per-view star, being on that Pacquiao pay-per-view, is it money?
Let's not use the word pay-per-view star that loosely.
True. Being on a B-side to a pay-per-view.
On a very low-end pay-per-view for a star.
Okay. How many numbers did it do, Steve?
It did less than Andre Berto Mayweather numbers, right? Which was in the mid-4s.
I mean, did it do better than Golovkin's and Ward's and Kovalev's, the quote-unquote stars and pound-for-pounds?
Hold on. You did mention Golovkin. Are you really acting like anyone said Golovkin's on the level of stardom that Pacquiao was? Or
No,
is?
I'm just but I said pound for pounds of the world.
But that's pound for pound has nothing to do with stardom and pay-per-view sales.
But I try to cunningly use the word pound for pound.
But it did not work.
Instead of star, there you see how I mixed it up. We were talking about stars, but then I slid him in along with Kovalev and Ward as pound for pound. You know. But yeah. So other than money, I mean, yes, sir.
Hey, okay, so right now I'm looking up on various sites that are reporting that, like, this one's called Baller Stats, another one was Bloody Elbow. They're saying that it was Pacquiao's worst since 2008, and the pay-per-view numbers are to be above 400K.
For Vargas.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good because guess what? It's probably no. I know you're making woo faces because it's Pacquiao.
Good. I mean,
listen to me. It's Pacquiao with a 400.
Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. Top ranked Bob Arum tells Ring TV that estimates pay-per-view numbers at a little over 300,000.
Okay, so remember,
is it good again? Is it still good? Over 3?
But that's because you're gauging it in the Pacquiao eyes. I'm gauging it in
because that is who fought on that card.
All right. Look, Matt, you're in the mood to argue. So Jesse, anybody care to say anything else about?
I don't know what's with Jesse, to be honest. I don't know where his head is at. I think he just may not be 100% dedicated to the sport right now. I think that's probably more it, where the negotiations. If there's a contract sent to Jesse, there's probably very limited negotiations. Because I have no idea what Jesse Vargas wants to do now.
Yeah, you know what? I think that it's you could argue that it's like maybe it would have been money because I think Jesse kind of holds himself very, very high. He thinks of himself as one of still like the top elite fighters in the world. You know, after stopping Sadam Ali and then getting the Pacquiao fight. I think it's weird to kind of see why Cotto would not pick Jesse, but yet still, because I want to say, oh, maybe Jesse's not a big enough name, but Sadam Ali isn't a big enough name if Jesse's not a big enough name.
No, and let's not forget that Jesse knocked out Sadam Ali. So this is a direct smack at Jesse. Like, oh, you don't want a fucking deal? You don't want a deal? We'll get the guy that you beat. It's that easy. And really, when you're the A side, you can do this. This is his Bon Voyage fight. Any network's going to pick it up. This isn't an extension deal.
No offense to Sadam Ali, but is Sadam Ali the easiest option of all of them?
Yes, absolutely. Jesse Vargas. Wow.
You say that with such vindication. How do you know?
Do we really have to go into this?
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Vargas and Cotto are two different styles. Jesse has that come forward pressure. Like, yes, maybe Cotto has more power, but Cotto, I mean, you don't think that Sadam Ali with his I still believe he's a highly skilled boxer.
He's top 15. He's top 15 without a doubt.
I mean, but with his boxing skill, just boxing skill, you don't think he could stay away from Cotto?
Sure.
Well, I was reaching anyway.
Yeah, what I just don't want to argue that because I think Sadam Ali is the worst out of the four.
You're me.
But I think Jesse Vargas out of the three
on Twitter.
Jesse Vargas out of the top three names that didn't happen to me was the most logical to happen because Top Rank and Golden Boy have a friendly relationship.
The Mexico-Puerto Rico thing.
Yeah, the fact that didn't happen is surprising.
It's a fake friendly relationship, and now that Top Rank isn't doing HBO business, they probably said, "Why would we give you our services?" Plus, maybe because Top Rank isn't doing HBO business, Golden Boy asked for a, just the services of Jesse and a straight Golden Boy promotion, not co-promotion.
Good point. Good points. But again, Golden Boy has worked with Top Rank recently, unlike working with Heyman as much. So I assume that would be the easier fight to make out of the three. The fact that didn't happen is surprising. To me, when I saw Jesse Vargas' name on that list, that the negotiations didn't happen or didn't go through, that made me start swinging to the idea that maybe it's on Cotto as to why these fights are not happening instead of these three people.
I mean,
again, I could be wrong.
Is anyone second guessing that? You can't have three people not take the fight, and then you end up with, and again, no disrespect to Sadam Ali, but you end up with the lowest bearing fruit, and tell me that it wasn't over money when the other guys are clearly franchises. But we're missing one. We're missing one who I don't know if it's quite yet a franchise, but definitely has a following in the Mexican community. Definitely daring to be great. Definitely has been calling out Cotto. And if you're Team Cotto, you got to be saying to yourself, this is the easy fight. We fought in as high as 160. This guy's a featherweight, for God's sakes. We're a career welterweight. And he still didn't make the Mikey Garcia fight, moving up from 26, 30, 35, 40. He would have to get to 54 probably. Come on, man. What the hell is going on today in boxing? I mean, look, again, no disrespect to Sadam Ali, but it wouldn't be fair of Cotto. With these rumors out, three big stars like that, and I don't know if Matt's going to correct me and say I'm throwing the term star loosely because Vargas is in there, or maybe Mikey's not quite one yet. But, I mean, damn, those three names were way better to go out, But I hear business is all I hear and all I smell.
I agree that all three of those fights were much better fights to theoretically go out if this is indeed Miguel Cotto's last fight than Sadam Ali. And on the idea about stardom and who would create big fights in boxing, in the boxing community, all three of those guys generate interest. Even Jesse Vargas, off of his layoff, not doing anything, and not really being in the media as much as he probably should have been, he still would have generated a ton of interest because it's Jesse Vargas who had fought Pacquiao, who fought Bradley. It would have mattered more than Sadam Ali, let alone Danny Garcia, which would have made this fight gigantic, let alone Mikey Garcia, who is just becoming a star, an actual star. beating guys like Broner and calling out a who's who of everyone from 140, 135, and 147, and then 154 and saying, I want Cotto as well. That is how you start becoming a star. And the fact that fight didn't happen is upsetting. And plus, Mikey seems to be one of those guys that could be the next guy. We could be in the Mikey Garcia era. That's a possibility. And the fact that he's not going to face a legend is upsetting. So I think Sadam Ali, while I have a ton of respect for it, he's a good boxer, top 15. He doesn't deserve this. And out of all three of those guys that didn't get this fight, all three of them deserve this fight over Sadam Ali.
In closing on this topic, I'd say Bradley Cotto could have been the way out. Hopefully he could maybe convince Bradley to come back, unretire, and then re-retire after, right? Maybe Chavez Jr. Can you get Chavez Jr. back to 165 maybe? Do a catch weight, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Dude, I'm just saying, those are all better. They're all better. But to Sadam Ali, if you've made it this far, if whoever's told you about this show has made it this far, be great. Prove us wrong and prove me right. I fucking picked you to beat Jesse Vargas. Okay? So come back. Take this opportunity and come back. So we're going to move on to the next topic. WBC has been live at their convention all week, last week. We missed it because Matt was afraid to go to the Middle East. And while in, where are they? They're in Baku. While in
Azerbaijan.
Oh, why does all his things say like Baku, I think?
Baku could be the capital of Azerbaijan.
All right, well, he's in Baku.
That's the city name. That's not the country.
All right, well, that's the city he's in. Do I have to tell him the country he's in?
I mean,
I said he's in the Middle East in a city called Baku. But anyway, he's going cuckoo. See, Matt ain't see where I was going with the Baku line. You know what I'm saying? He's going cuckoo because he's trying to. And WBC President Mauricio Suleiman is saying that they are going to give good thought, and they're going to have their WBC physicians do some sort of studies and research on heavyweights that weigh upwards of 250 fighting heavyweights that weigh 210, 215, and the damages that could be sustained and whether or not it is justified or justifiable to have a secondary heavyweight division, I guess going to super heavyweight for the heavier guys. But guys like David Haye beat 316-pound fighters in the past for titles, 7-foot giants. So to say that we need a separate division because of size, I guess it could be argued, but heavyweight, there is no limit. Get on a fucking diet. It's not like a lot of these heavyweights can't lose weight, Fucking Bermain Stavern got a lot to lose. Ariola got a lot to lose.
I'm highly interested in what those studies are going to be by the WBC.
Look, they do good things.
Do we not think this is just another way to gain some revenue? Make another division?
No.
I think it's totally that. It's 1,000%. Hey, you know what? We're making money. How do we make more money?
No.
Yes. They already did this once. That's how we got cruiserweight.
No. This is strictly safety. Don't forget that the WBC.
Oh yes. The WBC is so concerned about safety. Yes.
Oh yeah. So who created the day before weigh-in, and everyone else follows suit? It was the WBC. And who was?
I'm still not so sure that's a good idea. Look at all those HBO specials called 2 days with all these fighters like Mikey Garcia throwing up and their stomachs turning inside out.
Everybody wants an advantage, Steven, but that's not the WBC's fault. They're giving you the 24 hours so that you can recover, so that you don't die in the ring, so you have enough liquid in your brain. It's
awesome. Hey, fighters, get unhealthy, and then you got 24 hours to try to get healthy.
Well,
good luck with that. That's just a false sense of security they're giving them.
It is just not the WBC's fault that a fighter wants to go through extremities to get an advantage. It's just not.
So wait, hold on. Why are we giving the WBC credit for something that happened a couple of decades ago?
What happened a couple of decades ago?
When were weigh-ins moved to the day before?
You want to speak of this generation? We'll talk about fucking VADA. Look at what they've done. Remember
what they haven't done.
Let me finish. No. Let me finish. Let me finish. You can give your corner argument.
Yeah. Let's let him finish, and then we'll blast him later.
Floyd did a lot of verbalizing about using and not using and testing, but he continued to use WADA, a agency that we know is flawed. Okay, an agency that we know things get done regardless. So VADA, we knew they were busting people way before the WBC got on board, but it was an expensive testing. As soon as they got on board, now everyone is being tested in the top 15 in the WBC rankings. How could you not say that?
Whoa. Everyone.
Yes, everyone in the top 15.
You think everyone in the top 15 of every division in the WBC has been randomly drug tested?
Everyone in the top 15 of the WBC rankings. What didn't I say that you're trying?
No. Have they been drug tested?
Randomly?
No. Do you know that? Every top 15 guy in every division have been drug tested. Do you know that?
Obviously, there can be a world where they have not all been tested because it is a random testing. They didn't call.
It's been a year.
And we got.
Time out. So you're telling me in a year, there's guys that aren't being tested?
You said it was I can't answer. You said it was a year. In a year. You're telling me a $30,000 test or more, they could fucking test 1,500 middleweights because there's 1,500 middleweights in one division. Not all of them are ranked by the WBC, but there's a lot of fighters for you to expect, for you to give them some sort of timeline. I don't see any other fucking sanctioning body testing anybody.
But they're the ones that started that standard. So I mean, hold them to their standard that they said they were going to go at.
And that's what I'm saying.
And so hold on. Let me finish. I let you finish, Ness. Let me finish. I know you got riled up. Relax. It's okay.
Because it's horrible the way that you guys are so prejudiced. At least based off the things they've done in the past, give them the benefit of the doubt that if they're considering a secondary division is for health and not fucking money. All their other decisions have been on health.
You mentioned this very expensive testing program, and now we're getting a new division that's going to create more revenue for the sanction body. Time out. Let me go on. Let me have a couple other points I want to get on. Let me get to my other points. So, you telling me that a clean testing program is effective when there are numerous fighters that have not been drug tested at all under the clean testing program. And there are numerous cases of guys going into eliminator fights, into championship fights, getting either zero testing or testing up until or no testing until 2 weeks before the fight or a week before the fight.
Yeah, and 3 years before, Matt, there was no testing.
I understand.
But 3 years before that, we were talking about how San Antonio Commission was fucking not even doing post-fight piss tests, bro.
Yeah, of course, because that's Texas. Texas has always been that. We know that. And again, hold on, Ness.
Empty guys, yo. You guys are some half-empty glasses.
So I'm holding the people that said this is going to clean up the sport to that standard. You want to clean up the sport, then I'm going to hold you to that. If you want to start randomly drug testing all these athletes,
I see them.
Then let's hold you to that standard. Let's not do some half-ass shit that's some PR smoke and mirrors move. I don't want that. If this is actually for real, I want a fucking real program. I don't want a PR move.
All right. Well, this is a PR move right here. Hey, Steven, you found an article that says at least 20 fighters in each division were tested by the WBC.
Not 20 in each. 20 in total were tested at the end of 2016, from October 2016 to December 2016.
I see here it says in all divisions, 20 fighters in all divisions.
It said 15 fighters were going to be tested or excuse me, top 15 were all, but it says the list of fighters. The following is the list of fighters who were tested from October to December 2016 through the out of competition random process. And then those are the guys who were tested out. And then it said certain fights that were people who did test, leading to upcoming fights. So that's probably, it's another 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, so about 34 fighters were tested in that little, 4-month span.
All right. And hypothetically, right, we could agree at least.
It wasn't. Yeah, go ahead, Ness.
I'm just going to say, at least, Matt, we could agree it's about 30,000 for the test is what we've heard, right? I mean, I don't know how.
Oh, yeah, it is expensive. I'm not disputing that.
All right, so then just do the fucking math. In 120 days, look at the amount of money they spent on testing. Like, I mean, but anyway, this was not even a topic. You know what? You got your own personal vendetta with these people. Deal with that. I don't have anything to do with that.
Hold on, Ness. When you're getting 3% of everyone's purse, when all of your sanctions made, hold on, Ness. Let me finish my point.
But that's inaccurate.
Ness, let me finish my point. It's in their fucking rules and regulations that they get 3% of the purse.
Everyone doesn't get charged 3%.
That's fine, but that's what it's in the rules and regulations. So I'm going by what they say, not what you say. I'm going by what the WBC says, their own fucking words. And then they go on to say in their own rules and regulations that every sanctioned event, all their hotels, all their food, all that shit is paid for by the promoter. They don't pay for that out of pocket. So when you see Mauricio Suleiman go into all these events, all these WBC officials, all that is paid for by the promoter of that event. So they don't have a ton of expenses. These big conventions every year, that's probably their major expense of the year. That's it. Or making these belts. That's it. They generate money.
Hey, just to circle back, this I'm assuming you guys are reading the same article I am, and it doesn't say what necessarily has provoked the WBC into doing this research. My question is, do you think it's been the way certain fights have kind of played out lately in the heavyweight division? Or maybe it's from certain fighters who are like way above, like let's say 230, and they've been popping for some type of, PEDs, and maybe they're thinking, oh, these fighters are doing it to get in shape because there's a lot of pressure to maybe they like to fight at a certain weight. So they're going and using these extreme resources to do it. Maybe if we create another division, it'll lighten it up and maybe people won't be trying to, I don't know. Can you guys think of any reason that might
I've been watching boxing all my life, bro. I remember Vander was accused of fucking PEDs or probably did pop. Everybody pops, bro. Like, it's in sports. This shit ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just in sports, They're going to have to, I don't know, do what they're doing and a lot more of it. But this wasn't even a topic.
Again, very quickly, I just want to say I don't think it should happen because it's definitely going to water down a already watered down division.
Yeah, I agree with that,
For real, like, no offense to Big Baby Miller, but that dude will be the reigning champ of that division for like 8 years because no one's going to have that much size and be that good. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Doesn't make sense that and I hope more people write articles and discuss it so that the WBC can have some feedback to at least check out because I don't like it. I think it's a waste of time.
Well, that's what we're here for, Ness. We're here to let everyone talk about, speak about. WBC will listen. They'll know, and they'll be like, all right, hey, Boxing Voice, their people know that it's a bad idea, so we know it's a bad idea.
It is, bro. It is. I mean, I guess it's cruel as well to tell somebody that's like 248 out of shape to get into the cruiserweight division. That's a lot of weight to ask you to lose, but doesn't mean you probably can't make that weight.
Let's be honest. Mauricio Suleiman and all those guys in Azerbaijan were getting drunk off of that Middle Eastern wine. They're having a good time, man. They're wilding out probably. They're like, yeah, let's just make another fucking division. We already have like 18. We can make 19. Let's do it. Fuck it. They just had a good time over there. It happens.
That's some bad news for sure. Lemieux, Saunders, they made it to the cutting room table. I don't know how that happened.
Maybe because Lemieux was also rumored to possibly be fighting Cotto as a possible Cotto. So Lemieux's definitely fishing for a big fight.
He ain't getting one.
Yeah, he was rumored, but he wasn't on these failed negotiations lists. I wonder. why that is. I always thought Lemieux was too dangerous for Cotto anyway, especially on a way out type of fight. Like,
it made no sense for Cotto.
Yeah, big puncher, younger.
And a guy that's not going to go down to 154. Lemieux barely makes 160.
Yeah, but he could that's where you get him though. You get him in the catchweight to get in with a big name. It's like, yo, 57, 58, something.
That's probably why there was really no negotiations, because Lemieux wasn't going to go down below 160.
And let's be honest, Cotto probably asked for some weird catch weights from some of those other guys too, you know?
Well, Billy Joe Saunders said that he hasn't even received an offer. I wonder why Billy Joe Saunders hasn't even received an offer.
Well, yeah, from Lemieux, that's understandable though.
Why is that understandable?
Because Lemieux said they sent them an offer already. If you check the Twitter beef, he said they sent them an offer in the past and he turned it down.
Yeah, but like, why wouldn't you be sending another one now? Like, why are you only gonna send it once? That guy is the title holder. Who else are you gonna fight?
Like you said, there was rumors of Cotto Lemieux. In-house is always first. You always try to make your in-house because all that money stays where? In-house.
Yeah, but I feel like Lemieux would have like immediately been like, wait, he wants 150. What? No, never mind. Because I think Lemieux would know better than to try to kill himself to that way to fight Cotto. Because Lemieux doesn't want like another like.
I don't know, man. I feel the same way I felt with the welterweights. It's Cotto. You got to do what you got to do to get the name. There's especially a name like Cotto. Think about it, guys. It's over. It's over. Like the Pacquiaos, the Floyds, the Cottos, they're gone. So yes, fight them for free, motherfucker, because you need them on your resume.
I think I said this on Twitter or something, but like, Cotto would only fight Lemieux like in Puerto Rico. Like Lemieux is only allowed to get like $500,000, and it would have to be catch weight at like 154.5. Like that's the only way Cotto would take that.
And Cotto should do something like that right now with Puerto Rico and the way that they are. It would be amazing for Cotto to take a fight back over there, do something in Puerto Rico. Nah, for real, bro.
No, for real though, Cotto's not that kind of guy.
Yeah, I know he's not, but
he's never been like the people.
They're asking for donations over there. Imagine the money they could generate if he put on his last hurrah over there. Big name too.
And like half the proceeds go towards the victims.
No, fucking Danny Garcia dropped the ball. Listen, Matt 215, you know what to do. Call your boy. Yo, that's what they should do. Danny versus Cotto. Fucking bring the island back. Everybody's flying over there, making that, you know, helping the economics in the island. You kidding me? They need this. They need this. And with a big fight like that, they probably help the light situation. Don't forget, they got 6 months. They're going to have no electricity over there. It's fucking
That's
hard.
why they can't do the fight over there. How are you going
to? Why they could. That's why they could. What do you mean? That's
no electricity means they can definitely do a fight over there, Steven. Didn't you know that?
Dude, come on, man. You get Cotto over there, and then all you need is a couple of more. I mean, now Rock Nation. Well, no, Rock Nation's out, right? But fuck it. You still got some of these other stars, right? But you got Gloria Stefan already doing shit out there. Maybe she wants to do a comeback song and shit, and it's all a big Puerto Rico.
To do it there would cost so much money, and boxing's a business about making money.
I don't know about it'll cost so much money. I'm pretty sure San Juan already has electricity, you know, because they, like I said, I just received my girlfriend's mom. You know, they just started letting people fly out, so they have to have electricity in San Juan already. I'm telling you, they can make it.
I don't know why you're in this dreamland, Ness. I know you're the biggest optimist, but that fight would be in New York, in the Barclays, or MSG.
Has higher taxes than Puerto Rico. What are you talking about? Danny needs a Puerto Rico fight after that fiasco with Herrera over there.
Herrera? No way, dude. Puerto Rico don't want nothing to do with Danny now.
But that's the point. If you got Cotto, they're like, oh yeah, this fake Puerto Rican Cotto's gonna whoop his ass. But then if Danny happens to win, it's like, oh my God, he did it, and we love him.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, Danny, go to Puerto Rico.
I'm telling you, but whatever. Any other headlines, Matt? I know you got shit in the back of your sleeve, or up your sleeve, whatever the saying is.
Is that a saying?
Up your sleeve, not back of your sleeve.
I've never heard that in my life.
The back up your sleeve. You got something up your sleeve. Yeah, that's the saying.
I've never heard.
Yeah, I messed it up because it's also something in the back of your mind. So I messed those two up. But what do you got in the back of your mind?
You're like Deontay Wilder. You're like crisscrossing, like
I'm flabbergasted
and shit.
Like frustrated. Frustrated.
I'm flabbergasted. Whatever.
Yesterday he was like, if the shoe was on the other hand, and
yeah, like, he did say that. I remember that.
Hey, I love that. Only he gets away with that.
Oh, quick quick news topic. Steven Espinoza may be hearing all of these rumors about Anthony Joshua leaving Showtime to HBO.
No, he listens to the show. You can say it, Matt.
He definitely listens to the show. What up, Steven?
It's good when you say it because you start to realize that it's true. Like the minute we started talking about that, all of a sudden he's like, no, we're really invested in Anthony Joshua.
Yes, we love Anthony Joshua. He is the best thing ever since white bread. We want him now.
Yeah, but you did see Eddie Hearn, right?
Yes, saying that Wilder in 2018. I again, that's just a promoter talking when his fighter's probably bigger than him now. So it's like when Oscar talks for Canelo. Like I never actually believe that.
Damn. Somebody in the chat said even if Danny won in Puerto Rico over Cotto, doubt they would show Danny any love. That would be tough to believe. And if I seen that would be wow. That's some cold shit. If even in Puerto Rico, you beat a legend and you still can't get no love, damn.
From what I've read and seen, Oscar De La Hoya stopped Julio Cesar Chavez in SoCal, where Chavez was huge. Mexican community did not like Oscar after that. And then he beat him again, and it was a better fight, but they still did not like him much after that. Sometimes beating the hero of that,
Whoa.
Wasn't it different for Oscar? Because he was
that's some messed up history. Oscar was loved in LA.
He was loved in LA, but by Mexican Americans, by the Mexican community, the hardcore Mexicans, dude. They did not fuck with Oscar, dude. While I was in high school, like
no, good point.
Everyone was telling me they're like, no, he beat Chavez. It was an old Chavez. They never gave him full credit for it. And if Danny would beat Cotto, I could only assume Puerto Ricans would be like, that was the old.
Nah, it's different because Danny would be a 47 moving up. So that deficit in the disadvantage in weight, you can't say that's an old Cotto because
casuals don't care about weight. Casuals don't know about weight classes. Casuals don't care about weight classes.
Who was the other guy? Mikey. Because when Mikey is different, I mean, I would have enjoyed the Mikey fight. I'm honest. I would have enjoyed it because it would have intrigued me. Can Mikey really do it, or is he going to suffer his first loss at the hands of Cotto? Because that was a tall task. I know Mikey was very adamant about it, but
skipping 2 divisions.
Yeah, man. I wanted to see.
That would have been awesome.
His balls was so big. I just wanted to see that. Like, yo,
Mikey would have done it too. I mean that.
Oh yeah, Mikey would have done that in a heartbeat.
Crazy, bro.
I wonder what the money was that made that fight impossible
Iron
to happen.
Sal, shout out to Iron Sal, one of our patrons, saying that Mikey would trash Cotto. I don't know if I could believe that.
I think he would outbox him for a decision win.
I gotta see.
Yeah, trash is too harsh. I think that he definitely beats him with decision. He goes UD. He probably UD's Cotto.
Just jabs him to death for the whole fight.
Makes a bloody mess.
That would have been a good fight, man.
That would have been the best too, because then that would have been like, damn, Mikey would have blown up. He would have for sure been a star. That would have been it. That would have been the tipping point. And then anything would have been anything goes. He could be like, all right, am I going to stay at 54? Well, now anyone at 147, I pretty much get like someone's going to want to fight me at 147 because they're going to be like, oh, he shouldn't have leaped up that high. And if he comes back down, he's going to get it. And then it's going to be like, okay, what about 140? There would have been a lot more place to go. Plus, it would have been a huge payday for him, and I think he deserves it. For a guy who's always just wanted to fight like tough fights, and he went on that hiatus to get out of his promotion deal. Like I'm a Mikey Garcia fan. I wish he would have got that fight.
Yo, let me tell you, because we got to talk about the sanctioning body one last time.
Oh, my favorite topic.
And we mentioned money, and this doesn't defend my case. But
that's mine.
You know that Sean Porter is in a mandatory for a silver title. That was explained in the WBC convention that we spoke about in Baku, Uzbekistan. Oh, no, Azerbaijan.
So not a interim title.
I'm reading silver title, but
okay.
Calderon, see if you can find something to corroborate my article or something better. So Keith Thurman is the welterweight champion and he's injured, but he's going to return to the ring in January. But what's crazy is they're saying that the mandatory contender Sean Porter fights Adrian Granados on November 4th for a silver title, explained the WBC, which puts him in line for Thurman in January. But why would Thurman fight anybody like that coming right back?
Yeah, I think it's saying that.
Like, I don't think that and since you want to talk about money,
that could just be badly worded to where he was trying, like the person writing was trying to say like the winner of Puerto Granados is going to be the guy facing the winner of Thurman in his fight in January, and he said it wrong.
Well,
that's my only guess.
I don't know. I mean, I would say that it is negligence on the writer, but in this instance, again, being devil's advocate, even though I many times throughout the years I've been labeled as a bias, here I am now defending your side of the argument. I had a conversation with a person that is ranked in the WBC and received the same medallions that we gave out on our appreciation nights with the green ribbon, big fat piece of gold. How much you think one of those things are worth? Those ribbons they put over your shoulder.
$80
after you win, but it's a big gold WBC medallion at the end of it, and you usually get it when you're an eliminator for the actual WBC or some sort of something.
And when you say cost, you mean like how much it costs to make, right? For the WBC to make, right?
No.
Okay. Like retail costs, like
since you were a 3%er and you thought that sanctioning bodies, specifically WBC, charge 3%, how much do you think the sanction for a fight where the fighter receives this medallion is?
Well, you just switch up the question.
How many carats is that gold, though?
How much it fucking cost the fighter? How much does he pay sanctioning fee to receive that damn medallion? How much?
I don't think that all of that sanctioning fee goes to that medallion. I feel like maybe half of it does.
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't go to making the medallion, but all you get for your sanctioning fee if you get the win is the medallion. Are we all? Can we all agree?
The mandatory status goes as well.
You get the WBC sanctioning the fight. That's what you get for paying.
Exactly. But it's a medallion though, right? And it's a move on the chessboard. You pushed your pawn up closer towards the queen, correct?
Sure.
All right. So we go back to that other conversation about making money. A guy like Sean received already that green medallion when he, won his last fight versus Berto to make him the mandatory to allegedly keep Thurman. So now he's in a silver belt eliminator to make him the mandatory again for Keith Thurman?
Yeah, and also when he was going to fight Danny, that would have been for the interim belt.
And he's going to have to pay is what I'm telling you. That belt, that silver belt, you got to pay. You can't fight for a silver belt without being sanctioned, and you got to pay.
Why do you think Canelo doesn't want any involvement with any sort of WBC belt, even if it's not an actual legit
Remember, Cotto also dropped that WBC belt like the week of the fight with Canelo because he's like, I'm not paying that.
That's right. You're like, fuck this shit, the plague.
Yeah, what was it going to be, like 100K?
Yeah, it's a shit ton, man. When you're making a lot, when you're making millions, that 3% becomes a lot.
Yep. So, just to shoot a hole in my own argument back then about, them not, this is the way that, this is why I said that they don't need to do that to make money because they're already making money. They don't need one more division. They're already killing niggas for any type of thing. I mean, they're giving you ribbons now for 30 stacks, man.
30 stacks?
30 stacks. 30 stacks.
That's the average income to like an American household nowadays. That's right. 30 stacks.
So imagine what the belt costs, the silver one, and then the actual one, right? Because I remember 300,000. Steven, if you could look up one last thing, we're gonna go to these callers, find out how much Cotto was gonna pay on that sanctioning fee to the Canelo fight. Guys, remember that number 1-425-569-5241. We got a bunch of topics here. We want to get your opinions, and we need the boxing industry, the industry, as Matt labeled them.
Hey, Ness, you were absolutely right. It was 300K.
Yeah. Look at that, bro. I would drop the belt too. 300,000 is a baby mansion for a guy like me in fucking Florida somewhere. Well, not a mansion, okay? A 3-bedroom with a bonus.
300K.
Bonus room. What?
I would be good for a bit on 300K.
Yeah,
I could make that work. I could definitely make that work for a bit.
You can make 300 work. Especially,
yeah, you just said, dude, the average American household's 30K. You could stretch that out 10 years.
Hell yeah.
10 years, you stretch that shit out, bro.
Hell yeah.
You start shopping at BJ's, you might get an extra 5 out of that. Shopping bulk for the fucking annual year, you know what I mean? But look, any other things we got to get to, man?
Nah, let's get to the sponsors and callers.
All right. Well, callers, I already gave you the number. Skype Internationals, NESTORGIBBS. That's the spelling. Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. Only way that you could get on via Skype to call in and call in absolutely free internationally. So we're going to go out to the callers. But first, a word from our sponsors.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Yo, Ness, did we even talk about the Ricky Burns fight?
Yeah, you guys said that I didn't watch it, but you didn't talk about it because y'all didn't watch it.
Dude, I definitely watched it.
I watched it. I watched it at work. I just want to say that not sure that if it was that easy to score the fight for Krolla, if somebody would have scored it a draw, I wouldn't have had an issue. I could leave it at that. So we can get to the call.
Yeah, that fight sucked. Let's get to the callers.
You think they're going to do a rematch?
I hope to God no. I hope to God no.
Hey, I have to turn the sound down when I watch those all UK fights with the UK commentators because they're like, it's such a great fight here in the stadium. The crowd is going crazy. And it's like, it's really not that great of a fight, man. Why? Like, they really love their fighters over there. It makes me sad.
Ricky Burns. Yeah, they do. It made me sad at once. I mean, I still beg sometimes for their fans to be our fans. They're
they hate us.
Yeah, they hate us. They're passionate. But anyway, let's get out to the calls. We got Alexander Bully in the UK. Talk to me.
Oh, Boxing Voice. What's going on, people? How are we all doing today?
We're good, man. At least we got a good bit of topics to talk about, so we're happy.
Yeah, listen, I'm finna speak on that. One from the perspective of a boxing fan and another from the perspective of a long-time fan of the Boxing Voice. I'm going to start off with, of course, the perspective of a boxing fan. And my man, Chris Eubank, my goodness. When he stood over that dead body and he just looked at the crowd, there was nothing quite like it. And the finish, like... And I can't remember who said it, but it was one of you lot that said he looked like Deontay Wilder a little bit. That was hella disrespectful, man. What he looked like was the man whose DNA is embedded inside him, and that's his dad. And this guy, I told you before, after AJ in the UK, for superstar quality, is him. After AJ, it's definitely him, and can't wait for George Groves to deal with whoever he is, and then the big fight next, hopefully Callum Smith in the final. Easy work. That man will be a star both over here and in the US. And this is the last thing, just as a perspective of a long-time caller, a long-time fan of your show. Guys, sometimes every now and then you lot just start arguing about some stupid shit. And you'll talk about it for a very, very long time when there's like other topics. And it's like, it's a little hard to listen to. I can't remember what it was. It was something about like what the WBC, like testing people and how many people they tested. And you lot will just talk about it and kind of argue about it. And it's a bit, it disrupts the fluency of the show. I'm curious to know what other people think, but that's just my opinion. And still love the show, but just every now and then cut the stupid arguments out. But like, great work as always. I'm out.
Yo, I love this.
All right. I love them too. I think that's just great riffing. Like when
a lot of people say that. A lot of people say, no, don't stop arguing. But it's not that we're doing it on purpose. It's just Matt is like
whoa.
Yeah, I mean, it's you. You're like the sanctioning body crusader and shit. Like
Crusader. I'm not a crusader. I'm just saying.
That's what it feels like. It's like you always got an issue with
Matt's like, I'm not a crusader. I'm just a regular guy with a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to help out the
It's
fighters.
like, yo, sanctioning bodies are there, bro, and they might be flawed, like everything in this world, but they get it done. IBF mandates, WBC moves the needle. Some of these people get it done. I mean, the WBA. Did I say them? I meant to say WBC moves the needle. WBA, they're one that we may need to handle it. We may need to eliminate them.
Yo, guys, we're riffing again.
I'm just saying.
Steve.
Yeah, we're going to Seth. Talk to us, Seth.
Hey man, you hear me? All right.
Loud and clear.
Okay, cool. No, I just wanted to take off from where the last caller was talking about. Because I'm up in the UK, right? And I've never been a Chris Eubank Jr. fan, but actually now I'm very intrigued at if he winds up facing Groves in that tournament. So that's kind of interesting for me. But I was just curious about Mikey Garcia. Like, I mean, what is his weight class sort of at the moment? I'm a little bit confused about that.
Well, he's in a mandatory with Jorge Linares at 135, mandated by the WBC. He also just beat Broner at 140, but he's still the champion at WBC at 135.
I think he's just whatever weight has the biggest payday at this point.
Yeah, he's in the money weight. He's in the money weight division.
That's what I was thinking, and I started to realize that I feel like a bit old-fashioned here because I'm 40 years old, and I still remember when there wasn't as many weight classes and people weren't jumping up the same, because now people like are jumping up and down and stuff. And I don't know, what's your opinion? Do you think like Mikey Garcia is a fantastic boxer? He's like one of the best, and of course I'd like to see him fight anybody. But like, do you think all this stuff kind of needs to chill out, man? Like all this like jumping up 2 weight classes and shit like that? I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so. I don't have an issue with it too much at this point. I think it's a case by case.
Yeah, fight by fight basis, man. Like the Canelo, I had an issue with. Golovkin, Brook, I had an. Mikey Cotto, I don't know. It's intriguing.
Or Mikey at 147, I don't have an issue with either.
And look, don't get me wrong. Some people probably didn't have an issue with Kell Brook and Triple G, and they thought that was intriguing. So that's why these matchups get made.
Or Rigo Loma, that's another one, obviously, that might either people love that fight or people hate that fight.
Plus, yeah, it's just like the Rigo Loma, like it's a way for certain fighters that are so above their other talent in their division. It gives them a chance to really challenge themselves. It gives a boxing fan something interesting to consider. It's definitely
boom, man. It's really the way to make a boom. What's the easiest way to start them is moving up and taking on someone bigger, more dangerous that the public perceives. All of the above.
Also, if you're a guy who likes pound for pound and debating pound for pound, jumping up in weight classes is a really good thing to look at if you want to gauge a fighter pound for pound historically.
I guess the one thing I'll just leave you with this is that the thing that seems to be going crazy is the 154 division. So I'm really excited to see if at some point that gets unified. That's like what I'm really hoping, somebody unifies that shit. But
all right, Seth. Well, thanks for calling in. We're gonna go out to New Jersey. Talk to us.
Fellas, was good.
What up, B?
Yo, I don't want, like, Chris Eubank Jr., I think he's a very good fighter. I think we're not giving him enough credit in some ways. I think he's in a position to be the Andre Ward of this tournament. And sometimes we look at a fighter, because we're talking about jumping weight classes. He was one that jumped a lot of weight classes, and sometimes when fighters do that, we say, oh, well, we don't know if we can handle somebody, that's seasoned at that particular weight class. So a lot of times we have questions, but I think as crazy as the moves he's made, jumping a few weight classes and kind of just and with the intentions, I don't know if he's still planning to go to 175 at some point, but I think if he does what he's supposed to do at 168, and if he eventually ends up in a fight with James DeGale and he wins that fight, man, I think that'd be a nice story to fight. A lot of ifs, but I wasn't impressed with the opponent. I was impressed with the knockout because I felt like Eubank did what he should have did against the level of competition. So hats off to him. Very quickly, I want to touch on Cotto and Mikey Garcia. Cotto, yeah, he deserves to be a name on anybody's resume that's trying to get to that next level. But I mean, at what weight would that fight even happen? I guess I missed the beginning part of the show, but at what weight would a fight between Mikey Garcia and Cotto actually happen? That's my call.
I mean, the weight would have to be a Cotto weight, right? He's the A side, so I would figure 154. But we're going to go out to Orlando, Florida. Majid, talk to us.
Yeah, man. Not much. I'm just calling to just show some love and say keep up the good work. I don't really got much to say about this topic. Everybody needs to like the video, and that's it.
All right, Majid. Well, thanks for the kind words. We're going out to Anthony in Cincinnati. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on, man? Yeah, I was trying to get through actually the other day for the Wilder thing because I was actually in Alabama. But yeah, some real good topics today. Eubank. I remember when I first started, I started listening to the show. I remember Nestor was talking about Eubank. Only fight I had really seen from him was when he lost to Billy Joe Saunders. And I'm thinking, like, well, damn, he's not that great of a boxer. He got his ass beat, really. But the persona is coming. I mean, he looks good at 68. And so I'm kind of anxious to see him in this tournament. Yeah, I'm really anxious to see the guy. Yeah, I had no idea that Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia, they were in the running for fighting Cotto.
And
I think
Jesse.
you guys said money was the biggest issue. And Jesse. I bet you it wasn't money that was an issue. Because I mean, what was Danny Garcia's biggest payday? Out of the three, he probably makes more than those other options, I would assume. So if it was something like $2 million, that's probably the highest he's ever got paid when he fought Thurman, right? So I bet you weight was an issue, not money, because I would assume all of them were probably getting close to career paydays anyway. So, I mean, you know how Danny Garcia is, clean cherry picker, but I think maybe they wanted some kind of advantage that Cotto wasn't willing to give him. And, you know, he's the A side, so I don't know, but it was other topics. Yeah, well, I guess it wasn't really a topic about the whole WBC thing. I kind of gotta agree. Well, I side both with y'all, like, because I like what the WBC is doing. You know, you gotta have a clean system, and it goes back to they didn't have anything really to begin with in the first place. So it's good that they have something, but you probably can guess that they going for some revenue too with the extra division. But shit, I mean, how heavy is an in-shape heavyweight? I mean, you got Wilder. Where would he be at? He's 225. Where would the weight stop? Where would the super heavyweight, the actual weight stop? And then you got guys like Klitschko and Joshua. They're 250, 240, 250. Would they be super heavyweights? Or, you know, where would that start?
It's going to be interesting to see,
yeah,
man.
That's my car.
All right, and thanks for calling in. What up, Steven?
That's actually Matt, the other super producer. Shout out to Roberto Max and Stainless in the YouTube live chat for activating that super chat and donating to the Boxing Voices. That little money sign under the live chat on YouTube. If you're on your desktop or laptop, you can definitely do it there. You cannot do it on your mobile, by the way. And we do have a ringer. Shout out to Georgie Porgy.
Shout out to the super chat, man. Staying alive with us, man. We appreciate the love for sure.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see two motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What a great show. Thumbs up, donate. Are you ready, Mr. Gibbs? Well, we're gonna ramble tonight. Let's smell, buddy. Let's smell. What's up with
stop
that
using my
mentality of
words.
yours that everybody get popped?
Stop using my words,
What's
bro.
up with that mentality of yours that everybody get popped here? These athletes, they're gonna get popped. Roy Jones got popped. Evander Holyfield got popped. Cotto got popped.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go down the list. So many athletes that never got popped.
I don't know. You better do your research about Evander.
Evander never actually popped.
Who got popped that I mentioned?
He was in a scandal. I don't want to hear that shit. I remember that.
Yeah, that was Evans Fields that popped.
You only got 2 minutes. Let me roll, nigga. And now they say, what's up with your fucking half of fucking glass of fucking water full shit. We're supposed to have a full glass of water. I paid my Showtime. I paid my HBO. What you talking about? These motherfuckers drink your motherfucking half, show you half a glass, and then you there to complain.
Nobody don't understand what you're saying, Georgie. Could you repeat that?
I'm saying that you're always talking about the proverbial fucking glass of water that is always half full on your view. No, the motherfucking glass is half empty. The fucking mafia drink the fucking other half, and now they try to make you feel guilty because you asking for your full fucking glass of water.
Who's
you don't get that?
Who's the mafia?
The one who drink the fucking half of the glass of water, my nigga. The same glass of water you try to use as a reference every time somebody complains. What part of that you don't get? I pay my Showtime. I pay my HBO. When they got pay-per-view, I pay it too. And they give me this half a fucking glass of water. And if I complain, you want to make me feel guilty. Fuck that. Anyway, that's my time. Everybody support. Donate. I'm outie.
There you have it.
We have another ringer, Stainless from Nashville.
Shout out to Roberto Max. He got like 3 accounts super chatting. That's insane. Shout out to you, my friend. You are the man. And we're going to Stainless?
Yes.
Waiting on you, Matt. Did you bring him on?
Well, you have to play this.
Point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the street to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, TBB, what up?
What up? What up?
That's good to see you, Matt. Stephen Calderon.
What up?
We got to get Georgie. We got to get Georgie some VADA testing, Stainless.
Yeah, right. I know what he's talking about on the glass. You know how you always make the reference to the glass being half empty, half full. You know what I'm saying, but I gotta say to Georgie, man, just be happy we got a glass. As far as the fight this weekend, I'm like Calderon. I don't think you watched that fight either, Ness, but don't feel bad because I didn't. I ain't watched that Toyota Corolla and Ricky Burns fight. I figured it would be boring, and it just sounds like I was right. Shouts out to Eubank for that hell of a knockout. I don't give a fuck what they say. That was a nice ass knockout. I really do wish that Cotto would have fought Mikey Garcia. I think that would have been a great fight. I'm not upset with the Sadam. Is it Sadam Ali he fighting?
Alleged.
Oh, well, yeah, I ain't upset with that, but I'd much rather see the Mikey Garcia fight. I think Mikey Garcia is the future of boxing, and to be honest, I think he's the future of Mexican boxing. I think he's the true Aztec warrior, as they say, when it comes to this getting in that ring. He's not afraid to fight anybody. Danny Garcia needs to fight somebody. I don't give a fuck who it is at this point. Fight who that dude he fought before he fought.
Not Brandon Rios,
he can fight him again at this point. I mean, he can fight. Man, shit, he needs to fight somebody because he ain't had a fight since.
Nah,
man,
we can't allow that though. You know, Rios.
But he need to fight some. I mean, I don't want to see him fight Rios either, but he needs to fight somebody, man. Like Errol's still trying to get his fight. I heard Peterson let go of his titles. Like maybe he coming up. You know what I'm saying? Crawford, somebody, man. Because right now, man, sitting there, I believe there's nothing worse you could do to a fighter than let him sit out. I'm saying because you know, what I'm saying the less activity he has, the harder it is when he comes back. You don't believe me? And watch Errol Spence Jr. versus Kell Brook again. I mean, even at the end, he himself had to acknowledge that the ring rust plays a big part. You know what I'm saying? And hell, Cotto would have been a good fight for him because I mean he's only had one fight in the last 2 years. So, but you know we need 2017 to go out as strong as he came in, so we can come in even harder with 2018. So I'd rather that these stagnant fighters either stay stagnant and keep their name on my face, or they get out here and do the damn thing. Now, as I always say, man, please make sure. Hold on, let me ask you a question. Now, this is off subject, but I wanted to order a couple shirts. How long you think it'd take for them to, you know what I'm saying, about ordering those?
A few days. They give you shipping. They give you calculated shipping on the site.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Because I've been on there before, but I ain't never bought none. I just was, I'm saying, you know, I like to coordinate. But as I always say, man, please make sure that you push the thumbs up and share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. And shouts out to those in the super chat. Go on and push that $sign too, man. Support, man. Support ourselves. SOS. Peace, fellas, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, Stanley. Thanks for calling in. Shout out to Eric Cruz in Pittsburgh Brew. Coming through on a super duper chat. It's a super chat day today, man. Thank you to everybody for sure. TBV is going to be taking a trip to Alabama, so those super chats will be used to make sure Matt gets his Dunkin' Donuts. He's still drinking Dunkin' Donuts.
I have one every once in a while.
I'll have one with you, but it's going to be all black.
We have another ringer, by the way.
Is it Info Josie?
The legend, the myth. Yes.
Mr. gonna get knocked out by Alex Lemon is the rumor in the boxing forums.
That's hilarious. R.I.P. Alex Lemon.
This portion of the show we call In the Know, presented by my brother.
Yo, you know it ain't no show without Info Joe. What up, Ness, Steven, and Matt? Man, let's get that shit out of here. You know, Info Joe, man, taking no shorts, no losses, none of that. I'm putting the hammers on him. I'm putting the paws on him. Anything that you can put on somebody, I'm putting it on him.
The paws. What was a little scrappy? He went a little scrappy on him.
Yo, hey, man, Eubanks, man, he does have star potential. The dude got swag just dripping all over him, man. I like his style. He does get a little sloppy and wild, but he makes for exciting fights. I do think him and Groves will be the last man standing, and I also think that Eubanks and DeGale, what?
He's fighting the winner of George Groves versus Jamie Cox.
That's what I meant to say.
But that's not the final fight, because the final is going to be Callum Smith versus who else is in that tournament? Steven, help me out. I forget. But anyways, he's fighting George Groves next.
My boy hasn't even fought yet for you guys.
Oh, Rob Brandt. Rob Brandt. Thank you.
You know, once he fights, then everybody's gonna get impressed.
Brandt, yeah, I like Brandt.
The way that y'all been is impressed with Eubank. You'll see.
Eubanks, Groves, and Brandt. It's going to be out of those three. But I do think the most exciting fight for Eubanks will be DeGale. Their styles will create a very exciting match. As far as Cotto, man, I'm not a big fan of guys reaching low to pull somebody up to fight. How come he couldn't fight if the money is not there? Avni, Julian Williams, or Ishe Smith, if you wanted to go out on the big bang. I don't think we haven't even seen Mikey beat anybody at 140. I know everybody
Broner
hopes for him. I like him.
He beat Broner at 140.
Yeah. Okay. Well, somebody at 147, and Danny is only his second fight at 147. And Sadam Ali, it's almost like feeding him to the wolves, man. The dude just came off and barely got a win his last fight. And at this point, you're throwing him to the wolves. And I don't think Cotto should reach that down at the bottom of the barrel, man. This is my last question. What happened to that guy, Hot Rod? And that's my call. Shout out to all the listeners, the callers. Hit that button and support the Patreon. Peace.
All right, Joe. Don't forget that thumbs up button is the button he's talking about. And as last I heard from Hot Rod, I've been talking because, Marcus Brown and, his trainers use our gym a lot. So I've been talking to them, and seems like Hot Rod might have some managerial issues he can't really get himself out of. But yeah. I wonder if they could pull a flea flicker and maybe, because there was rumors of Garcia. Mikey was calling out anybody. It didn't matter. So he called out Danny. It would be good. End of the year, Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia. That would be good. Shout out to Andre. Man, always support and just drop that super chat and his messages. Eubank have star potential. some coins for the barbecue in Alabama. Shout out to Andre for sure. We're going to fuck that dreamland up for sure. I can't wait. That's why I'm not cheating now, because I can't wait to cheat over there. I'm going to eat fucking cornbread and barbecue.
What is Dreamland? Is that just some awesome barbecue spot?
Awesome barbecue spot in Alabama, man. Tuscaloosa. Shout out to Toyota Tacoma. Going to have us total. Damn, Eric Cruz again. Eric, why you want who you trying to get fat with those donuts, Eric? You talking about here's some money for some donuts on me, guys. I don't want donuts.
You know who it's for.
Oh, that's for Al, his Krispy Kreme. his secret planned diet. Eat Krispy Kremes at night and you lose weight, allegedly. We're going to go back out to the callers. Listen, if all these names sound weird and everything that's going on, you should definitely join us on patreon.com/The Boxing Voice. Later on, immediately after this show, we're going overtime. You've seen that before. I mean, I think Ellen does it. I'm sure Jim Lampley has done it, or Kellerman. I mean, most shows do overtime. We have our own. Join us on it. We're going out to the 504-218. 504-218. First time caller. All right. Busy taking a drive. We're going out to man, one of the cities that had the best series I can remember, you know. Anybody in Baltimore or that watched the series Wire? Brew, you're close to Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Brew. I'm talking about Wood.
It's Baltimore, gentlemen. The gods will not save you.
Wood, what's going on, my friend?
Man, I'm just down here trying to survive, man. What's going on?
Oh, man, I mean, you've been on the line, bro. Bunch of topics. Pick one. What's your poison?
Oh, man, this damn, it's Mikey Garcia, man. He trying to fight. He called out Keith Thurman. He called out Cotto, but they asked his brother and they asked him about Thurman. He said Thurman. No, they asked him about Spence. He said Spence too big, but he want to fight Thurman and Cotto. What the fuck going on?
He didn't think that Spence had a big enough name.
He want to fight Cotto. What?
I heard Mikey Garcia didn't think Spence had a big enough name.
He want to fight Cotto. Cotto fight at 160. He want to fight Thurman. Thurman fight at 147. But he don't want to fight Spence. Hello?
Yeah, I said that I had heard that Mikey Garcia doesn't think that Spence is a big enough name, whereas the other guys are pretty big names in their division.
Yeah, but it's not only Mikey that doesn't feel that way, because Earl Spence himself said that Terrence Crawford isn't a worthy fight because it means nothing for him. So everyone has their reason.
He ain't say that shit. He ain't say nothing. No. He ain't say that shit. No, he ain't say that.
Yo, he said Crawford don't got no belt. He said Crawford ain't got no belt, so that fight means nothing to him. What you talking about? What'd he say then? If he ain't say that.
No. I'm gonna tell you what he said. I'm gonna tell you what he said. They asked him every time they asked Crawford. Every time they asked Crawford about him, Crawford basically try to skip it off on him like he want to fight Thurman. Nobody don't call him out. So why he gonna keep calling people out and they don't want to fight him anyway? He know they don't want to fight him anyway. Why he gonna keep calling people out? He been chasing Thurman. If he start chasing Crawford, what the fuck? He not getting none of these fights. He tried to get Porter. He tried to get Danny. If he keeps chasing, then he start chasing Crawford. Then he ain't getting none of these fights. So why he gonna keep talking that shit any fucking way? It don't make no sense because he not getting none of these fights that he want anyway.
You know,
he's not getting them any fucking way.
This Spence fucking, I don't even know what to call it. You know, everybody's like, Spence ain't getting a fight.
Call it what the fuck it is, man.
Spence being
the motherfuckers don't want to fight him.
Who the fuck don't want to fight him? Who don't want to fight him? Who?
Your homeboy don't want to fight him.
Who?
Thurman don't want to fight him.
Who?
Sean Porter don't want to fight him. Danny Garcia don't want to fight him.
Okay, so what? Has
Thurman don't want to fight him.
Wood.
Sean Porter don't want to fight him.
You said those names.
Seem like he don't want to fight. Nobody don't want to fight him.
Wood, you said those names. So if you just want to repeat yourself, you could do that.
All right, I don't.
Are you ready for
me?
me?
You want to fight him?
I'm asking you.
No, go ahead.
When? Show me an article. Show me a Twitter post, an IG post from Sean Porter or Earl Spence saying that either one of them didn't want to fight. Show it to me.
All right, listen, I can do you something better. Look.
Or give me a video then.
Spence called up. Spence got the Spence got the belt. Spence said he wanted to fight. Spence said he wanted to fight.
Don't give me your fucking backyard assumptions. Give me an article where he's quoted saying he don't want to fight Earl Spence.
So you know.
So you want to put it together. You want to put it together now. You Sherlock Holmes.
You know
Sherlock
Porter don't
Holmes.
want to fight him, but you want me to try to prove it when you already know that's why he's fighting Granados. Do you think that Spence would have took that fight instead of Granados? You think Spence would have took that fight?
Let me ask you a question, genius.
Let
me ask you a question, genius. Where is Sean Porter ranked at? Is he ranked in the IBF rankings, or do you need my producer to tell you he's not even in the top 15 in the IBF rankings?
Let me ask your producer this. Let me ask your producer something. Hey, Mac, do Sean Porter want to fight? Do Sean Porter want to fight Spence?
He doesn't want to fight with the IBF.
No. Do he want to fight? Do you think he'll take the fight with Spence right now if he could for the title?
I think he wants to fight Spence.
You always wrong with boxing. You always wrong with boxing. You always wrong with it. We don't need you. I've told you this shit before. But I've told you before, we don't need you, bro. We don't need you. I've told you this shit before. You call in, and every year we don't need you. You are the type of boxing fan.
What are you talking about?
You think Sean Porter is afraid of Earl Spence? You living in a fucking bubble. You in a bubble, man. The dude fought the amateurs at 165. He knocked down Daniel Jacobs. Why would he be afraid of Earl Spence? It's always going to come down to negotiations.
Why would he not want to take the? Why would he wouldn't want to take the fight? Why would he wouldn't want to take the fight?
This is the biggest problem about opening up the platform, because you get these guys that they don't even know what the fuck they talking about. You just assuming shit.
You can't answer the question though. Why he don't want to take the fight? Why he don't want to take the fight?
Wood, you never answered my question.
The fight was offered to him. The fight was offered.
Okay, so show me.
You want me to pull up and say
I want you to show us proof of the fight being offered. You just repeated it again because you ain't nothing but a fucking liar.
Okay.
Prove the fight was offered.
When I call back, no. I can't. You want me to get it right this minute?
No. Don't try to say I want you to get it right this minute. You've been having my number over 3 years. Get the fuck out of here, you liar. You can fucking send me the link as soon as you hang up, but you ain't got no link. You a liar.
I can send you the link. Nah, you talking shit.
Now you can't send it. Now you can't send it. So for the record, Wood, do you or do you not have my number for over 36 months?
Hey, Ness, I got the number, but I'm saying
goodbye. Send me the link. It's your fucking fabricating story ass. 917, you up. 917-324.
First time caller.
206-449.
First time caller.
Yo.
What's up?
Yo.
First time caller?
No, it's Go from Seattle.
Sko, what's going on?
Go from Seattle.
Matt dropping the ball again, and you are too with just
dropping the ball. Even dropping the ball.
Oh yeah, blame it on Steve.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Not with your speakerphone.
Can you hear me?
You under a pool?
Nah, I turned it off.
You in the submarine?
I turned it off. Yeah. You hear me, catch you?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna jump on that same little train you was just getting on Wood about, man. I do remember. I don't know about no article, but the last time I heard about this might have been maybe a year ago. when when Porter Sr. was talking about fighting Errol Spence, he was talking about some maybe down the line type shit. They didn't sound like they was ready to jump on that train like that, considering all the other names they've been calling out. But I get it. They're trying to get the WBC belt and get that Thurman fight again. But that's cool, I guess. But that's not really, I don't know. I'd rather see him mix it up with somebody who he ain't mixed it up with already. But shit, also watch that Eubank fight. I'm excited for that Eubank versus George Groves. If Groves finishes out his fight, because he's a solid fighter, man. Even though he been took losses, he got solid defense, solid foundation, a solid European, a solid British fighter where he just got his jab, 1-2, you know what I mean, works the body a little bit, keeps the high guard up. It's going to be an interesting fight for Eubank to kind of, I feel like, solidify his stardom in boxing overall and not just in the UK. So I'm looking forward to that fight. And then Matt, I watched some little guys fight, man. Rex Soul or some shit like that. What you guys know what weight class that was? Was that 115?
Can you repeat that name again? Sorry.
Rex Soul or Rex Style or something like that. Just fought yesterday.
I missed that fight. That was probably in the lower weight classes. I think that guy's in 118. I could be wrong.
Oh, 118. Okay. Yeah, they was talking about some Inouye, him versus Inouye. I was like, ooh, that'd be a tough one for him, man. He looks solid, but Inouye would probably get in that ass. But they were like 5'7". I was like, man, if that's what weight class Chocolatito's in, that's gonna be that's tough for Chocolatito. Them guys are looking kind of big for Chocolatito, but if it's 118, then I guess he ain't got much to worry about.
Yeah, and no, Rexo is in 115, and he is 5'7". You're right about that. He's also got 69.5-inch reach, so he's pretty lanky for 115 pounds.
Yeah, he looked he looked, at least compared to Chocolatito, I was like, yeah, he's big compared to Chocolatito. I don't know about that Inouye. Inouye, just all around better athlete than him, but still a solid fight, I guess. But yeah, that Groves and Eubanks, man, that's probably gonna be the fight of the tournament at 168 for me, at least. I think that's gonna show the most out of everything that's going on. But that's my call, though.
Let's go, man. Thanks for calling in. We're gonna go out to the IG master, Info Joe's worst nightmare.
R.I.P.
Dollar DiBiase Production.
Come with me. Hail Mary, run quick, see what do we have in now?
Boxingvoice.com.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
What's up, fellas? Ness, Matt, Steven, how you guys doing?
What up, Lemon? Mr. Top Rank.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Hey, let me start off by telling Info Joe I hope he enjoyed that Nas concert he went to the other night, because that night I went into the gym and I bumped Ether all night, baby.
Yo, Matt, why you hating on him? Why you got a double team? Why Matt got a double team though?
That's the song I'm gonna play at his funeral.
Can't even let you go out Info Joe without trying to hate your phone call. Yo, it's January 16th, man. Judgment Day.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, let me talk about what that guy was talking about when he said the arguing and stuff. No, man, you have to keep it the way it is. I mean, the debating, the arguing. I mean, that's what I call in and listen for. That's what got me listening to the Boxing Voice from the beginning, was because of the different opinions. In boxing, everybody never you can never find everybody doesn't agree with everything. You know what I mean? That's the thing about boxing, is you got to have that disagreement, the different opinions, and the different what you saw and what I saw. You know what I mean? That's what makes it great. That's what makes the show great. So we don't want nothing scripted. That's for sure. So let's keep it like that. Now, one thing that got me that you guys touched on, man. I know you guys said it wasn't a topic, man, but it was the WBC. The whole thing, the whole topic about WBC. Number one, about the drug testing. If someone's enrolled in VADA And even if they're not tested, to me, I still give him credit because he's putting his name out there saying, hey, you could test me at any time. It's random. It's random. I'm putting myself like me myself. I could be drug tested at any time for my job. So at any time, I can tell anybody, yo, grab a hair, grab some urine, grab whatever you want.
Matt
clean.
can't do that.
I know what I do. You know what I mean? I know what goes. Huh?
I said Matt can't do that, but he the main one complaining.
Say that again?
I can't pass a drug test. Anybody in this fucking entire company. So maybe Steven.
Wait,
sorry.
I could.
We're all masking.
Steven
Everyone's on diuretics.
Issue instead of a weed issue now. It's okay.
No. Give up the drink too, bro.
Oh, shut up. We don't believe.
No, he looks good too. I don't know if it's the haircut or is all the run.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've lost like 13, 14 pounds now.
Damn. Yo, and not lemon. Sorry, Alex. Doomsday Lions. You can't cut that weight because you're eating donuts. Come on. Inexcusable.
Doomsday's on the milk carton, B.
He drank the carton.
Nobody's seen it for like 7 days. Alex, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, Alex.
My last topic about. Well, I want to make sure you guys are done. Hey, the last topic was about the WBC. I had a question. Now, this whole thing about Canelo, it kind of bothers me because I feel that when you're coming up and you've built your name on holding a belt like the WBC, and you've gotten fights, you faced opponents and big names, you've gotten the big money because of that belt, and they put you in that position. And then once you reach a certain level and you're making all this money like Canelo is, now you're turning your back on the same belt that actually built that helped build you and that name. I'm a little I don't want to say almost confused, but because I'm seeing it as disloyal. But then at the same time, I understand that maybe like you said, 300,000 it's a lot. They're milking. What's up?
It's business, and Canelo's making way more than Cotto made. So think about this: Canelo made over 20-something million. He made like $26 million against Amir Khan. That's how much Canelo made, including everything. 3% of 26 million is a lot of fucking money. And then you have to pay 3% to the WBO. You have to pay 3% to these other sanctioning bodies. It's 3% to everyone. So when Terrence Crawford went and unified all those belts, he paid 12% of his purse potentially. I don't know that to be a fact, but according to everyone's rules and regulations, that would be the most that he would probably give to the sanctioning bodies. It's 12% of his purse. So, yeah, I understand these guys not wanting to fight for an arbitrary belt when, let's be honest, none of these belts single out who is the champion in the division. The fans determine who is the man of the division. That's why Triple G was the man of the division, even though he was not the lineal champ. That's why Sergey Kovalev was considered the man. That's why Andre Ward was considered the man of the division, even though Adonis Stevenson was the lineal champion.
Yo, but for real though, Terrence Crawford is the man of the division because he did unify all belts.
True, that does help. But no one belt means you're the guy.
But if you hold all of them, it does. And in a lot of cases, you hold most of them, it does.
Actually, it does. Look at Adonis Stevenson. His name is only relevant still because he's holding on to that belt. And because he's not fighting anybody.
But it could be any belt. It could be any of the four major belts, and he would still.
Quick, about the $26 million, though.
It would be anybody.
$26 million, Matt, real quick.
Okay.
Real quick, about the $26 million. See, now, would he be in that position to make that $26 million if he didn't have that belt?
Yeah, yeah, he doesn't need the WBC.
That he had the belt that we.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The WBC is not the reason why Canelo won those fights. The WBC is not the reason that he got promoted in that way. The WBC is not the reason why Canelo became a star. If you think any of these sanctioning bodies are the reason as to why stars become stars, I think you are grossly misunderstanding what the sanctioning bodies do and how they conduct business. And I know you are the type of guy, Lemon.
Yeah, but if everybody starts
always rep the brand, always rep Top Rank, always rep WBC, and I get it. But these sanctioning bodies, while they do some good sometimes, should be critiqued when they should be critiqued. Just because they have a VADA clean testing program, even though that is great, doesn't mean it can't be critiqued.
But if everybody starts turning their backs on the belts, then what do we have a sanctioning body for?
Who cares?
Well,
if the guy's a man, then who cares?
I got sent something here from one of our
the industry.
No, not the industry.
Yeah, I swear he's like, I got something from Suleiman. Tell him, Matt, shut the fuck up.
Nah. I got something from you know, the shooters. The shooters on TBV.
Oh.
Crawford had to pay over $100,000. Crawford and Ndongo would have, whoever won actually, or a piece they paid. I'm not reading the details, but headline: Crawford and Ndongo to pay over $100,000 a piece in sanctioning fees. So that was for that unification. Listen, Alex, let me let you go. I want to employ everybody to get on over to patreon.com/theboxingvoice. We're about to go live with overtime in a couple of minutes. We're going to go out to West Africa. Muhammad, don't think that I forgot you. We're going to you. Just want to remind everybody we're going to be on overtime, and it's going to get funky, man. I just read a comment over here on Patreon. I'm going to have to trash somebody. I can see. I can't wait for January 16th. It's taking too long. I hate that it's even January 16th. I just want to say right here, I'm going to give this free overtime out. This is all Robert's fault. We could have did Border Wars 2 like right now in November, December. You know what I mean? Look, Wilder having that fight, I'm pretty sure we would have attached it to that, even though it would have been a fail since Stavern was slipped in at the end.
It would have absolutely been a fail.
Yeah, of course. But in the beginning, when it was like Lewis and Wilder, oh shit, Border Wars attached to that, we would have been great.
Yeah.
But now we're waiting, which is only worse. It really is. It's just more time in camp. That's all I'm saying. West Africa, Muhammad, what up?
What up? Very excited about the Cotto Sadam Ali fight. Sadam Ali, that's my boy, and I'm sure he will handle himself. He got more skills than people give him credit for. Remember the fight against Vargas? He was winning that fight easily. Granted, he got caught, but there was no testing in that fight, and Vargas was on something because if you look at his back, right after the fight, you have them steroid marks. But anyway, come on, man.
That's not me. That was not me.
Oh, that was yes, okay.
Yeah. Yo, he said steroid marks. Come on.
And he also said that Sadam Ali was easily winning the fight. He was not easily winning the early of that fight.
Yo, let's be honest. Just because people have back knee, hold on, time out. Just because people have back knee doesn't mean they take steroids.
No, but and there was no testing because I met Sadam Ali in New York, and he told me there was no testing.
Most fights don't have testing.
Along with it.
That's what Matt's crying about, even though the WBC is doing.
Most fights do not have testing.
But anyway, that's a great opportunity for him. If he shows good stuff, he's going to put him right back on top. One more thing before I go. Tell Eric Cruz to leave alone them donuts and get down to 160 because I challenged him 160.
Damn.
He's ducking me.
How old are you, Muhammad? How old are you?
I don't want to say it.
All right. Well, first of all, let me just tell you. We strive to be the best. So we're not the WBC or the IBF. We can't sanction you to fight Eric Cruz, especially not after this Border Wars. I mean, if he comes out on top after this Border Wars, we have to be serious and about who we match him with.
People's health are on the line.
Your health would be on the line. I mean, he's
like Alex Lemons is against Info Joe.
Oh, if he goes to 160, you're not scared? Shout out to Eric Cruz that actually did another super chat, and he said, if you're not super chatting, you just chit-chatting. I love that message. That was dope.
Hey, one last thing. Let me ask you a question, Ness. Do you know why Anthony Joshua has good vision?
No.
Because he's postponing the fight till 2020. So 2020, get it?
I get it. Damn, you should have prepared me. I would have hit you with one of these right here. It would have been right on time.
All right, that's my call. Peace.
All right, Muhammad, thanks for calling in. So it's that time of the show, guys. We've come to an end.
Not really an end. Just a.
Well, yeah, obviously, for the Patreons, we'll be live on Patreon, doing our, episode 23. Are we on 23 of
Yes,
overtime?
we are 23, and when we have
tons of content on Patreon, by the way, it's really loaded. A lot of stuff to look at. A lot of sparring. Tony G sparring is out. Iron Sal sparring is out. Got some video on Butterbean. Matt is out there shining, you know.
Always.
Conceited Matt. I can't wait for Matt to get around here. I'm gonna make sure Centron's in the gym.
Yo, Centron's gonna kick my ass, man. It's Centron.
But it's not about. Look, I'm not expecting you to beat him.
Oh, of course not.
It's
just to look better. Just to look better.
Exactly, to see how much better you look compared to the first time you.
Like, let's be honest, Centron can beat you. Like Centron can beat a lot of guys.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would,
because I remember you thinking that the amateur, which will remain nameless, could beat me, and then that person was yelling to the coach, like, "Coach, I can't get around that jab. What I got to do?" You know, I'm difficult.
Yo, but you.
But we'll talk about that on overtime. We'll talk about
your ass beat in that session, though.
Are you serious?
I wouldn't say you won that session. You did not.
I would not say I lost
that give you that fight. The judges did not give you that fight.
I would not say I lost that session at all. And I remember clearly the coach telling.
It's all right. We can discuss this in overtime. Hashtag TVV overtime. Patreon.com/TheBoxingVoice.
Mofongo says, bring Border Wars 3 to East Coast and he'll be ready. We'll see, man. I know East Coast is where we got the biggest fan base. It makes sense. But right now we're like a traveling circus. We're taking it to the West. We're going to beat up on those guys. You know? We're going to beat up on those guys over there. Those donut Krispy Kreme.
No, we don't support those NorCal people. Like, we don't.
I hope not.
We don't except for Iron Sal. Iron Sal, you're with us. You're cool.
Oh man, crazy. Anyway, final thoughts. Eubank looking as good as I've been saying. So I'm hoping that people don't have short-term memory. Remember that I was telling you to watch out for this guy. He's exciting, and he's going to continue to be so. Miguel Cotto, I hope he gets a copy of this episode and things change. Maybe he can slide in one of those bigger names back in there, give him a little bit more. Maybe they can get a copy of this and they can decide to take a little bit less and make it happen. WBC Mauricio Suleiman, you my boy. You know you are a sponsor for the appreciation nights, but we don't need another heavyweight division. We just don't. It's not even going to make sense. I don't even know how you can make it work. I don't want to know. Leave it alone. Whoever's too big or too little, find a new job. Billy Joe Saunders and Leigh Villamil, I don't really care. Those are my final thoughts. Nest GTO on Instagram and Twitter. Check out the vlog, man. I'm on like day 36. And I'm just saying, people starting to take notice now. You know what I'm saying? They starting to see. I see the retention time. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to see the cuts. Matt is starting to eat fruits. He's starting to eat blueberries and strawberries now. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hold up. Ness is really getting it done. I'm going to have to change my diet. I'm going to have to do what he does. I'm going to have to win.
One thing we forgot very quickly before we go out, Iron Sal was in the super chat, and he did make a comment that we did not address. He wanted you, Ness, to play your favorite soundbite of all time, the Bomb Squad soundbite.
Damn, how did we miss a super chat?
Bomb Squad!
I am Matt Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. And remember, TBV Overtime on Patreon.com/TheBoxingVoice for another 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, whatever.
We always say 30, but we never know, man. We're horrible.
We always go overtime. That's the point. It's overtime, so peace.
And I'm Steven Calderon. You can find me on Twitter at Calderon92 and on Instagram at sugar_steve.c. My final thoughts are hopefully, the public totally gives Cotto enough crap to where he'll change his opponent like how he did before. And other final thought, Matt, you're saying etc. and I think it's etc. So that's about it.
Bomb Squad!
Low Stevie trying to flex.
There's some fuck shit going on.
Trying to flex, yet he's always ducking this gym work.
That's true, Steve, but we'll do that on overtime.
We'll do that on overtime.